All right, we're going to continue our conversation about teamwork. We're going to talk about the roles that we play in groups. So hopefully you at this point have filled out your teamwork self-assessment. Okay, we're going to go through a few different roles that, kind of common groups have, common group dynamics that will apply in the workforce, in home, in school, on your sports team, in your rock and roll band, wherever it is that you are working together with other people. Okay, so the first helpful role in a group, they're the supporter. One of the things the supporters does is they tell group members positive things and they help to keep energy and motivation high. They'll say things like, great job, excellent, let's do it, and keep going, right? This role really helps increase the morale for a group, right? Helps keep everybody going, helps remind people that they are doing a good job, right? So the next one is the manager. Manager will often organize tasks and responsibilities. They help the group stay on track. They also help to manage supplies and resources appropriate to the group's task or goal, right? So we've all heard of a manager in a workplace, and this is often what they do, right? Sometimes if you work in a restaurant, right, your manager will not do things like serve tables or cook food or things like this, and sometimes they do. Sometimes what your manager does is float back and forth between all of the groups and make sure that everybody's communicating with each other. They make sure that if they need napkins in certain places, that napkins exist in certain places. They make sure if there needs to be something brought from someone to someone else, that they make sure that happens, okay? So the things that a manager might say is, first we should, and then, as in organizing tasks, figuring out what to do first and what to do next, or saying we need to focus on blank, okay? Next one is a really important role that sometimes people often forget about. They call it the referee, okay? The referee helps to smooth over conflicts, solve problems, make decisions, express feelings, and understand one another's position better. The referee can help to bridge ideas between different members of the group, okay? So this often will happen when different members of the group are having a disagreement, which can happen. That happens in every group all the time, right? It can happen when, things aren't as focused. It can happen when people are getting heated and trying to talk over each other, right? So the referee is the kind of person that will say things like, time out, let's talk, and we can solve this. Okay? Another really helpful person in the group is the idea giver. Okay, the idea giver, like their name says, gives lots of helpful, well thought out ideas and suggestions. They start things with an idea or a question to consider. Okay, the idea giver will say, I've got an idea, or have you thought about this? Or what about trying it this way, right? So the idea giver is someone that's sitting and trying to get the ball rolling, trying to get things started, right? You can't have a referee or a supporter or a manager without an initial idea, right? Something to get going on the common goal. Okay? Another really important one is the all-around helper, right? This is someone that maybe a lot of the roles have been fulfilled on your team so far, and a team can be anywhere from 2 to 5 to 20 to 50 people, right? An all-around helper is someone who's often very good at a lot of these things, right? The all-around helper is consistently friendly and always willing to help out. They volunteer to help others who may be stuck or struggling, and they listen carefully, right? Another word for an all-around helper is a floater, okay? And they are someone who really can help. If a manager is seeing someone struggling, or the all-around helper is, they'll come into the situation and say, what can I do to help? How can I figure this out? And sometimes it's little things, right? Sometimes if you are working in a retail scenario and you're trying to put up a shelf, and shelves are really heavy to put up by themselves, right? The all-around helper can just hold the other end of the shelf, and that'll take way less time than trying to put it up one person alone, right? So I want you to take all of these, reflect back on them if you have to. Think about how you can be a part of a team, or how you are on the part of the teams that you are on as you exist right now. Between the supporter, the manager, the referee, the idea giver, and the all-around helper, think about the roles that you play at home, in school, at work, or in the community. Next to each role, write a sentence or two about how you fill that role in some element of your life, or how you'd like to improve your play in that role. Okay, so there's a little form for you to fill out in the next section here. think about all of these roles. Go back and think about kind of what each one of these jobs does. Think about the things that they might say, and then I want you to consider how you fulfill this role, or how you might want to do it better. If you can't think of any of that, think about someone in your life who is really good at these roles. Okay? Take your time and fill in that part of the sheet.